Good. See if it reconnects. Okay, we're back. All right. All right, we're back. Looks like we had a little difficulty here. It got disconnected for some reason. Don't know why. But let's see if I can check the stream here. Okay. Okay. Yeah, all right. Let me just go live here. Okay, yeah, we're live. Okay, we're live. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. So, like I was saying, I can move around with this thing. And let's see if I can show you what I'm talking about. This is the Raspberry Pi, okay, right here. This is the Raspberry Pi 2 Model B, okay. And I got this Smarza camera, okay, right there. And that is what I am using currently. All right, and then I'm not sure if I can be able to show. Let me try this thing. It's my old school's flip camera. Let's see if it still works. Oh, it does. Okay. All right. Okay, so there it is. Yeah. Okay. All right. Let me see if I can show you in this deal here. Maybe a little tough, but there. Not sure if you can see it. All right. pretty cool. Like, this is what I used to use when I was doing YouTube videos back when you could just do a few, you know. But anyhow, I did switch over to this wireless mic. Oh, sorry. And the big thing that I noticed with it that I really like is I like being able to move around. All right. Hi, King Blob. Robert. Hi, Robert. Just talking a little Raspberry Pi streaming here that I put together. I'm using this wireless mic. Let me show you what I had before. Okay. So previously I was using this setup where I had to connect to the Raspberry Pi, and then I had this microphone set up. When I had it connected to a monitor, I had to do some code changes where it was recognizing the good again. And what I was worried about was when I switched from this microphone to this wireless microphone and this headless, no monitor, standalone deal, it seems to be working pretty good. So I'm probably going to start playing around with this more. I do have that travel router ready to go. So my next test is probably going to connect it to the travel router, find me some good coverage somewhere, or at least just verify I've got some good connectivity. I think it's like 5 megabits per second that you have to have a decent stream. Okay. And since I'm using this secure, reliable transport, that should help. One thing that I did have to make an adjustment for was I've got just USB ports in my Raspberry Pi. Luckily, I had a converter to take it from a USB to USB-C, and then the transmitter or the receiver for this wireless mic is connected USB-C to that adapter. When I have it on my phone, I'll actually use one of these little extension adapters right here that allows it to stick out a little bit further, because on my phone, I've got a, what is it, Galaxy 22, I think it is. This case right here is pretty thick, and so you got to have that extra extension, or you could take it off, and I kind of prefer not taking it off. I'd prefer to have the protection. So been happy with that. I am really happy having this wireless mic capability, because now I can move around and still stay connected with y'all and still engage with you. And because I've got the iPad set up, I can see folks calling in. So, okay, called out Robert. Hey, Robert, how's it going? Appreciate it joining. Really been happy with this. The Raspberry Pi camera, I don't think it's the one that comes from Raspberry Pi. I picked it up on Amazon. It's the Smarza. Okay. And what's nice about it is this one has autofocus capability. It is 1280 or 1080p. However, I had to do some adjustments using the FFmpeg coding in the Raspberry Pi itself, so I could crop it and allow it to do this vertical stream format. So that's really how I'm getting through this vertical stream, even though the camera is more of a landscape mode. Okay, Mikey Chester, hey, how's it going? Cool. Yep. This took some getting, several weeks of trials and errors. And I think that the thing I like the most about this now is I don't need to have a keyboard or a monitor. I can just plug it in, connect everything to get internet connectivity as well as power to the Raspberry Pi. And then I added this little toggle deal. So if I hit this, that'll actually shut the stream. If I hit it again, it'll start the stream again. And then I am sending the SRT video using that secure, reliable transport SRT protocol up to the virtual machine. Oracle Cloud Infrastructure, OCI. They offer a free virtual machines up to a certain point. I was able to snag one, and not one of their high-speed virtual machines, but because I'm being able to take advantage of the low need for bandwidth for that SRT protocol, I'm able to maintain a pretty decent stream without a lot of latency, as well as that pixelation. When I was using the RTMP format, going from my phone directly to YouTube, there was some issues there that if I got into a low coverage area, I'd get a lot of pixelation and latency and some just kind of laggy video. I do have the ability using IRL Pro, where I can also connect this same wireless microphone and also stream to the virtual machine into YouTube as well. So I really wanted to use this Raspberry Pi just because I wanted to free up my phone and just kind of set up a static video camera so that I could just kind of concentrate on fishing and still stay engaged with you guys as I'm fishing and talking. So some of the upcoming things that I want to do fishing wise, I have been doing some handline stuff with the Yoyito and that 3D printed Yoyito. Let me grab it real quick. Okay. I was using this thing right here. This is the Yoyito aluminum hand line. Okay, I caught me a nice 27-28 inch catfish using this on some circle hooks and some bread. And then because I've got a 3D printer, you know, you're always trying to figure out how you can replicate something and take advantage of your 3D printer. So I went ahead and made a replica of it right here. Right there. Okay, and this one's lighter, of course, because it is that PLA plus filament, but it certainly feels just like this one when it comes to casting and whatnot. So I'm looking forward to that. Stay tuned for some more of those videos. I do still have that one live well ice chest style live bait deal that I'm probably going to go use my micro fly rod to go catch a few of those small 2 to 3 inch bluegill and sunfish, and see if I can do some more hand lining with that and hopefully get a decent bass, because oh man, that one pond I went to really got clobbered with a bunch of these turtles, and they were just stealing my bait like crazy. So that was a bummer there, but hey, that's fishing, you know. Here, bear with me, I gotta go put this up real quick. All right. Other things to just call out. Yeah, here in the next few days, I may be out of pocket, but I'm going to be trying to do these impromptu quick update live streams, just maybe some behind the scenes stuff of what I'm doing versus doing some fishing. But I definitely want to just stay engaged with you guys, and I do like this setup. So right now I've got the iPad, I've got the Raspberry Pi, I've got a camera that's coming out of the Raspberry Pi, streaming that video up to the virtual machine, the Oracle Cloud infrastructure, and then that's sending it to YouTube. I'm using currently my home internet. However, I do have the capability using let me grab it here, using my travel router. And I'm probably going to do my next test using this same format, Raspberry Pi, this wireless mic, connected to the Raspberry Pi. And then I actually have another phone that I use to see the chats that are coming in through the chat feature. And this is the travel router. Okay, I think I showed this yesterday, but got a power bank, got a GLI Net Opal $30 travel router, and then I've got a USB modem here. I pay like $15 a month for the coverage, or to be able to use this. I forget how many gigs, but I haven't even come close to hitting those gigs yet. Once I plug it in for this Raspberry Pi, since it doesn't have a Wi-Fi Bluetooth adapter to it, or one that's built in, it's the old school Raspberry Pi 2 Model B. I actually connect it using the LAN connection, using the Ethernet cable. And yeah, stay tuned. Next test, I'm going to be using this baby out right here, and we'll see how that one does. I did some speed tests when I was down on the coast in Galveston, and was able to maintain a really strong stream using the IRL Pro app that I have on my mobile phone. But I'm looking forward to this because I just feel that I can stay more focused on the fishing when I have a basically fire and forget camera, where I just start it up, let it run, and let it feed into the cloud and into YouTube, and from there I can play fishing as well as stay engaged with y'all as if we're fishing together. Bottom line, that's what I'm really hoping to do. And then at times when folks will call out, I think this last trip when we went down to the Freeport area off the jetties by Surfside, there was one individual that gave some decent advice, or if not great advice, in the case of telling me to not cast so far from the jetty, instead stay 15 feet or closer. And lo and behold, after no bites for 2 hours, in that short amount of time, I ended up losing 3-4 strikes and had a couple of hits as well. So, hey, that's one of the mottos of this channel, COAF, City of Allen Fishing Field Team, is to learn by our trials and errors, because we are not experts, just avid fishermen. And when I say we, it's actually just myself. It used to be 5 of us, but some got married and had kids. Some moved to other states and whatnot. But I'm sole person at this point. But I feel that we're still a team because we stay in touch. And at the same time, hey, you guys are part of the team as well. All right. And I especially take that advice of folks providing some of that know-how that they have out there. Because, hey, I'm still learning to fish. I am starting to shift a little bit more to the quality versus quantity phase. I think I spent a lot of time in the quantity phase where I just want to catch a lot of fish. Now I'm starting to go, maybe we might get a little bit bigger fish this time. So more to come there. I do have, well, I'm looking forward to more of that hand line fishing. I do have my center pin reel, and that one, I'm excited about using that one because it's very similar to, well, it's like a mix of fly fishing, but not, because you're actually using a no drag reel. Here, I'll go grab that. We got time here. All right. And let me go grab it. And like I was saying, I can still keep talking with this wireless mic, even though I'm not up close to the microphone. or not up close, but up close to my other microphone that was connected over there. Okay. Okay. So let me just grab it here. Okay. Actually, let me grab this other one also. Okay. So you know, when I usually like a particular product, I tend to buy things in pairs when it comes to fishing. In this case, I bought a pair of these NGT from England center pin reels. They weren't going very much in price when I got them. I don't know how much they are now. So this is the center pin reel, okay, right there, and I've got it on a switch rod. And what happens is you kind of there's this weird cast where you pull up and back, and then you release the line. You use a float, and pretty much a drag-free drift is what you're trying to do. And the reason why you can do that is because this is pretty much right here a no drag reel. Let's make sure I got it. Yeah, okay. So you got a little clicker here to keep you from overrunning when you're traveling, let's say. But when you're pretty much using it, you pretty much see that has no drag. Okay, it goes both ways here, and I can spin it. Okay, and it just keeps going and going and going and going and going. And I barely hit that thing. Okay. All right. And what's nice about this is when I'm fishing with it on the rod, I'll hold the rod like so, and my pinky is what I'm using to slow the reel down. And from there, I can let go and have that drag-free drift, okay, where I'm watching my float go through wherever on the river or whatnot where I'm fishing. Or in the case of fishing these ponds where I'm fishing bred and I don't want the catfish to know that he's got any drag on that, or he's actually picking up a bait that is connected to a rod with a hook and everything. Instead, he's just running off thinking he just got himself a nice piece of dinner. So what I'll do is I'll just kind of slow down the drag here, and then when it's time to set the hook, well, I'll set the hook and then I'll start reeling in. Okay. And again, this one, when I got it, I think they were going for like $50. I don't know what they're going for now. It's called the NGT center pin reel. Got it on Amazon. I don't even know if it's offered anymore. But again, just to show you, yes, good bearing. Yes, it does have really good bearings. Like I was saying, I barely touched it, and I can just kind of do this little flip. Okay, and it just goes on and on and on. All right. And the fish has no idea that he's being hooked. Okay, look at that. Pretty cool. Pretty cool. Anyways, that's the next thing I'm probably going to be doing. Some handline fishing, catch some bait with my little micro fly rods, and then take out this center pin reel and maybe try catching some of these wary catfish and other fish that they definitely want to have no drag when you're fishing for them. Okay. All right. Let me go ahead and put this one up real quick. Again, I can stay connected with you all because I'm on this wireless or wireless lav mic. Okay. And it's connected to that Raspberry Pi, as I mentioned earlier. And let's see if I can show you what I mean right here. I'll be back here in a moment. I'm just going to pull out the micro fly rod. Okay. All right. So this is what I'm talking about when it comes to the micro fly rod right here. Okay. I've got 4 of these in different styles, as well as I made some using some ice rod fishing blanks. This one's nice because it collapses. Okay. But it uses the original line guides that came with the little Penn fishing rod. So you got to make sure that you have some thin enough line. In this case, the running section of maybe a 04 or 5 weight weight forward line, so that thin section, the running section, okay? But I did take one where I took off the rod guides. I had to basically cut off that piece and I replaced it with some snake guides. And that one's in my pickup. You know, you got to have emergency fly fishing gear just in case. As well as I got some bait finesse gear in the pickup as well. So it's fun. And the reel is basically I don't know if it's a cheap reel. It is really just a line holder. Okay. All right. And it's fun stuff. Okay. And as you can see behind me, I've got a lot of fishing gear. All right. I probably should try cleaning up the place a little bit. Hey, but that would take me away from doing fishing related things. Instead, I just kind of have to remember where I put stuff. You know what I mean? Plus, yeah, I just spent the last 6 weeks or so troubleshooting, trying to figure out how this Raspberry Pi would work in this vertical format. It's again a landscape format, but I've cropped it using some coding, FFmpeg, some bash coding. Used a little bit of Python as well. Putting it in the command prompt. It's on the Raspberry Pi itself, as well as in the virtual machine in the cloud. And right now I'm maintaining this connectivity with y'all. It's pretty awesome. I like it. So anyways, the next test I'll be doing, I'm going to have this same setup. The only difference is I'm going to take the travel router and see if I can connect it and have a decent stream using just my travel router and tethered USB modem. Okay. All right. Well, I appreciate you guys joining tonight, and stay tuned. We'll be doing this again. All right. Next time, I'll catch y'all later, and good luck and good fishing.